Didn't you say you wouldn't let any of your comrades die? Naruto!
I'll never let my comrades die, no matter what happens!
Okay, sup guys? Alright, sup Choco Fox? It's your boy, Dark Raikou here with What If Issei was like Obito after discovering the truth. Now, let me begin into this what if. Let me shut the fuck up. I could have done another what if, mostly one of the what ifs that I've been doing right now, but I was too lazy since basically I had 4 hours of sleep this night, or mostly last night, and mostly I had to go to the store, and for fuck's sakes, I was too damn tired for almost everything. But not the point. Let me begin into this what if, but yeah. But yeah, no more randomly on, and let me begin. So, we begin into mostly someone right now teleporting right on top of a building. This is where, well, he's looking down at mostly the city just passing by. This is where, well, he looks down, trying to remember, well, not really trying to remember, just remembering all the bad shit that has happened for over about 2 months. And a month later, there's going to be a battle, a raiding game battle. But he won't be there, because he will not care. He doesn't care about this world society. Or mostly the battle between the devils, angels, or fallen angels. He didn't care about any of that anymore. All he cares about this world is to change it. To change into the ideals that he wants to. This is where, well, we go into mostly a memory. A memory that is he just decided to have. We go into a memory long before anything in his or mostly world change. To change to become a colder person. A person who doesn't care about people's feelings. But mostly we go into this memory. We go into the first time he ever dated anyone. And the last time he would ever trust anyone. Well, before he met some other people. We go into this memory. This is where, well, mostly there was a black haired beauty with kind of magenta eyes. This is where, well, she had a very cute smile, and of course her name was Rainer, or mostly Yuma Amato. Well, also real name was Rainer. This is where, well, there's a boy with brownish hair, and of course he's kind of brownish goldenish eyes, who was always kind of called a pervert loser, a perverted beast. This or that. But also, when he was dating this girl, he decides to stop his antics. For once in his life. This to where, well, he didn't know this too much, but after the date was over, he thought that he did a good impression on the girl. That's why he wanted to stop his perverted antics. But, little to his knowledge, he was going to die, and his world would have changed in an instant. Which it did. When he died in an instant, during the battle, well, not even battle, mostly the one-sided slaughter between the fallen angel, now known as Rainer instead of Yamamoto, and the boy was dead. But he had a contract, a magic circle contract that was actually connected to that of a devil named Rias Gremory, who resurrected him to come back to being a devil for her, mostly a servant devil. So of course, that happened. Well, in his mind, servant, yes, mostly that's what all devils would have called their servants. But in his mind, it's really mostly called as a slave. An internal slave towards a household that he does not want to serve. But, after that memory, he remembers everything that happens. All the battles and situations that he had. The memory that he remembered was mostly some of the girls that he used to love. But now, he doesn't care that much. He doesn't care about their feelings, their lives, their anything. Mostly he just doesn't care. But we remember to a specific girl with blondish hair and of course greenish eyes. She was cute and very gentle. Her name was Ozzy Argento, and when she died against Rainer, well, mostly the boy named Issei Haidu. Well, mostly this person discarded already his name. But used to be named Issei Haidu, or Issei Hyodo. He was enraged and actually stopped Rainer from actually ever, well, mostly taking away the sacred gear, which, well, stopped it, but someone didn't. But don't worry about that. Mostly Issei at that time, but didn't know that he unlocked something in his eyes. He unlocked one Tomoya in one eye, and the other eye was two Tomoyas. This is where, well, this would have changed. It would have gotten stronger each passing battle. Mostly throughout during battle. First, mostly him versus a person who was named the Phoenix, or mostly Riser Phoenix, also known as KFC for him. He doesn't care. Mostly that man was cocky, arrogant, and such a bastard. But luckily he defeated him, and of course managed to improve his mostly excellent with anyone. Mostly managed to show that he was useful. And of course he thought that the woman that he loved, mostly the red hair, named Rias, would have loved him back, but that was all just a false of reality. This is where, well, everything started changing after that. There was mostly the battle between him and the fallen angel, kind of war monarch, Kokobio. Then there was another battle with mostly the Chaos Brigade, and then also him versus the White Dragon Empress. And then there was other battles between mostly the battle with, well, mostly Loki, and then after Loki was Sashu, whatever his goddamn name was again, one of those true descendant double whatever bullcrap. Then there was other battles, but mostly the battle that stuck out to him the most was a battle after, or mostly not even a battle, mostly what happened after the hero faction and him. He was used to be called the Red Dragon Emperor. Now he just doesn't care about being called the Red Dragon Emperor. No, he doesn't care. He really does not care about anything. No, after what happened with him during the battle, or mostly after the battle of the hero faction, he changed. What happened? Well, we will go into a memory. A memory that still pains him so much. Mostly his master, named Rias Grummery, managed to graduate with Akano Hinjama. Of course, there were multiple other people were graduating, but that was not the point. Then he became somewhat of a senior. Of course, there were, well, those who were lower than him, like in being a freshman, became a sophomore slash junior, whatever. Not the point. This is where, well, Issei was just mostly minding his business this one specific day. This is where, well, all this specific day, this one dark and very just hurtful memory in this specific day changed his life entirely. It changed his world. There were still a rating games between him, or mostly him and, well, Sir Orcus. But this day would have changed his life. He wouldn't care about the battle between him and Sir Orcus anymore. He would not care about anyone in this world at all anymore. He would not care even a single bit of people, anyone that asked for his help. It was not going to come out of a free price of I'ma be niceful, but instead out of just a small price of whatever he needs. Mostly out of manipulation or whatever. But we go into mostly what happened on this specific day. This specific day, we go into it like it's any normal day. We go into two people walking towards mostly a club they haven't really been in for like 1 month, since mostly school and other things has been very tough. But yeah, we go into a blonde-haired boy with kind of bluish eyes, and of course wearing mostly the cool uniform, but mostly for like 3rd years. And of course another boy that had light brownish hair, light brownish golden eyes, and of course mostly a not really muscular build, but mostly still doesn't look that bad looking. But this is where, well, he was next to this boy. Now we go into them. This is where, well, mostly one of them says, "Hey Kiba, it's been a while," says the brown-haired boy. This is where, well, Kiba now identifies as a blonde-haired boy, kind of says, "Yes, it really has been a while, Issei-san." This is where, well, Issei said, don't call me, what's it called? Issei saying, call me brother. Besides, we have been fighting against a bunch of people, and I did help you a lot. So why will you call me San when you can call me brother? Kiba nodded and said, yeah, sorry about that. This is where they're smiling. Of course, this is where they keep walking towards the ORC. This is where, well, we go into mostly Issei and Kiba going inside and seeing all the girls. Mostly a girl with orange hair with two orange two orange hairs, kind of like ponytail, whatever. Mostly she had kind of purplish violet eyes, and of course, her name was Irina Shindo, or whatever the hell it is called. Then there was a girl next to her with bluish hair, a green bang, of course, one green bang on top of her hair, kind of golden eyes, and of course, this was none other than Zenobia Corridor or whatever. This is where next to her was mostly a girl with whitish hair, and of course, golden slick eyes, and her name was Koneko Tajima or whatever. Then after that, the two people that were in front of those two, or mostly those three, were mostly a girl with reddish hair, bluish greenish eyes. Her name was Ray's Grummery. Then the girl next to her was a girl with violet kind of bluish hair, or not violet blue hair, mostly bluish blackish hair, and of course these magenta eyes. Her name was Akano Hinjima. Then after that, there was someone sitting on a desk right now doing some paperwork, or mostly somewhat doing paperwork, just mostly talking to the two people that used to be in this place. She is now considered the leader. She used to be the kind, gentle, mostly maid, not maid, mostly what's it called, priestess, but now she is a devil and the leader of the ORC. She had blonde hair and of course greenish eyes, and her name is mostly Ozia Argento. There was also another blondish hair girl who had kind of these bluish eyes, and her name was Raffle Phoenix. This is where they were all talking, and when Issei and Kiba mostly entered, they all kind of became quiet. This is where Kiba and Issei noticed this, but of course Kiba bows down and says, "Hello there. What's it called? Rias and what's it called, Akano? How was your day in college?" This is where they both nodded. Of course, they say it was good. This is where Issei kind of also nodded. He did bow down. This is where, Issei says, "Well, that's glad to know, Bachu and, what's it called, Akano-sen." This is where, mostly he said Ria-san and Akano-sen. This is where, Issei then kind of waves at the others, but the others kind of became quiet. They really had a mostly cold stare with mostly Issei, which Issei was confused and flinched a little bit, but this is where, Kiba was also confused. This is where, before anything else can happen, this is where Ria said that mostly the contracts has been stacking up, and since mostly her and Akano has been dealing with school, she asked mostly Kiba to kind of, do the contracts, because mostly Issei is useless in doing any of them. This is where Issei kind of flinches because, yes, he had really bad time in contracts, but still, he tried his best, which is confusing because mostly the older Rias would have said that he tried his best, but no, it's mostly, she said in such a cold, dead voice that mostly sent shivers down towards Issei's back, which confused Issei, but he had such a bad feeling that he just didn't say anything. This is where, mostly after that, Rias and Akano had to leave because, they had to go back to school. They only went to check up in the ORC. Now, this is where, Issei was just dumbfounded, shocked, and of course, just wondering what the hell did he do. But when he came back to reality, there was no one else there, not even his best friend, mostly his brother figure, Kiba, and also Gaspar is just mostly doing something, but this is where, Issei is confused. He's really confused. What did he ever do to them? Yet, he decides to check on, them to see if they're feeling good or anything. He just wanted to check on them. So, of course, when he went to go check on them on their college, when he got to a specific place because he managed to follow them in secrecy, he managed to find out what exactly really happened. No, something horrible happened in this day that really should never be spoken. But what really happened is, he saw mostly his girlfriend, Ria's Grummery, and mostly his, somewhat senpai being, Akano Hinjima, but they're not dating, but mostly she was always flirty. So, of course, mostly he's counting that as a girlfriend, or harem, whatever. But of course, this is where he sees both of them just making out with another guy. A guy with kind of orangish, mostly orangey hair. This is where he had kind of these goldenish, bluish eyes. And this is where, well, he was grinning, saying, "Good, you two are very beautiful." This is where, well, he said such a lesbian. This is where both of them were flirting with the guy. But yeah, he also did look like some kind of pop star singer or whatever, which made Issei kind of boil mostly his blood boil in anger and rage. But he started coughing up blood, and of course had to leave. This is where, well, mostly he was having a disease that is called the Dragonfall by Drake. Drake told him about this disease and of course and how it works. It will start killing Issei, but mostly thanks to some 8 palm pieces that are corrupting his body and of course making the disease process become much more faster and of course killing him much more faster. This is where Issei didn't know what to do, but of course he tried to leave. When he got to a park, he decides to fall behind a bush, trying to lay down slowly, but of course Drake had to seal his presence because he felt stronger presence coming towards the park. And didn't want Drake to, Issei to be found and killed. This is where, well, Issei was somewhat unconscious but still conscious enough to hear what exactly was the 8 figures or whatever how many figures there were talking. It was about mostly a couple girls talking bad about Issei, but they weren't just any random girls. These girls were mostly his friends / mostly someone's girlfriends and other things. This is where, well, Issei heard all of this, all the painful words that they talked about towards him. Issei shattered. In that day, he shattered. Everything shattered. He wanted to use Juggernaut Drive, but luckily Drake managed to calm him down and thought it was a bad idea. It's better not to get revenge because the whole supernatural will go after him. But Issei didn't care. He wanted revenge. He wanted slaughter. He wanted murder. He wanted to change the world at this point in time. But mostly after that, the corrupted pieces and mostly dragon disease was trying to kill him. So he found out a way and actually, well, awoken something within his body, which allowed him to actually destroy the 8 palm pieces and even, well, not destroy the 8 palm pieces himself, but destroy the demonic energy and, well, not really destroy, absorb the 8 palm pieces and destroy the disease of Dragonfall. On this certain day, he disappeared from existence, but 2 months later, he came back and now on top of a building. We begin into the person who is now on top of the building, having an orange mask on his face. Right now, one peephole is on top of the mask. The other one is still covered up thanks to this kind of vortex kind of mask. This is where the only thing you see into that peephole is one glowing red eye. Of course, the glowing red eye is shaped into a pattern that looks to be like a shuriken. But yeah. This is where, well, this person says, it's been so long since I've been here. It's been a while. 2 months to be specifically. 1 month later, and then it would be the battle between him and Sarah Orcus. But why should he care so much about it? He doesn't care. He instead would really not care. The only thing that he cares in this world is causing chaos, destruction, and change in this world. He will change this world. Nothing will stop him. Not even the ordination called, well, the Chaos Brigade. No one will stop him. He will change this world, this reality, this pain, cruel, suffering world, towards a dream world that he will think that would be the perfect place for everything to be changed. So, we go into mostly him disappearing from the building in a very, well, mostly flash, somewhat. It wasn't really a flash, it was a vortex, but he was gone nonetheless. We go into him kind of going to school the next day. He looks completely different. He has black shortish hair. His eyes are now a onyx black, well, no longer brown. Well, they are, but mostly they look onyx black, but they're actually like a dark, very dark brown. His eyes are somewhat lifeless half the time, but he doesn't care. His expression is always emotionless. He doesn't smile, he doesn't get angry, he doesn't even frown. He's just emotionless. It's just kind of robotic somewhat. But mostly, he seems to be completely different. His posture and everything is completely different. He seems to be a little bit much more muscular and physically toned. Of course, the word, well, he's also quite bigger. He's no longer being 5'7" like his original counterpart, but now he's now the height of 5'11.5. This is where, well, he's actually very close to being 6 feet, but not the point. This is where, well, he sighs, and of course, going back to school, it's been 2 months, but he doesn't care. He really doesn't lose any education, that much, or at all. He's still quite smart. Even though his original counterpart wasn't smart, he is smarter than normal. This is where, well, he's walking to school, wearing the cool academy uniform as a 3rd year. Of course, he had to change and make him much more bigger. I'll explain that later and what really happened. But when he got to school, he was wearing somewhat of a face mask, covering up his face. This is where, well, girls were confused in who exactly this boy was. Guys were infuriated, thinking that this boy is another pretty boy. But his face, mostly his face, didn't really been shown because he has a face mask, similar to that of Kakashi Hatake. This is where, well, he has one of his eyes covered up by mostly a headband, of course, or not a headband, mostly an eye patch, and this is where he's walking through school. This is where girls think that he kind of looks cool, amazing, pretty, hot, and other things. But of course, they don't know this is Issei. He changed entirely. His one eye is cold and doesn't care about anyone. This is where, well, people think that he's cold and mysterious and other things. Of course, guys think that he's inferior. Well, inferiority towards them. This is where, well, one guy tries to decide to fight him. But when the guy tries to decide to fight Issei, when the man even gets close to Issei, Issei launches a rocket kick into this guy's head, knocking him to the ground without a care in the world. What did it look like? It looked like this. So it looked like this. Just wait for it. The kick was so fast that no one could even react what the hell just happened. The guy was knocked out in an instant. My man was gone. This is where, well, Issei said, "Shut up already, you pathetic weakling. You do not even know what's happened. Shut up." Issei said with such a cold, dead voice. This is where, well, Issei decides to go to the council room. When he gets to the council room and knocks, mostly some guy, mostly inside the class, or mostly office, says, "Come in. There's really no one here, so just come in already. I don't really have a meeting." This is where the person seems tired and sighing. This is where when he sees the door open, he sees this boy that he never seen and seems to be a 3rd year, which is confusing because he has never seen this person. This is where when Issei sat down right in front of Sanji. Yes, this boy is none other than Sanji because he's the new council president, kind of the council, but yeah. This is where Sanji says, "Who exactly are you and why do you have a 3rd year uniform and why do you look tall like that? I have never seen you in my life." Issei says, "Well, how should I say? The name is Issei Uchiha." This is where, well, Sanji narrowed his eyes and looked at Issei. This is where, well, the now known boy as Issei Uchiha and not Issei Hyodo or Haruto, whatever you like to call him. This is where, well, he then looks at mostly Issei and says, "Quite interesting name. Tell me, is your last name used to be Hyodo then?" Issei looks at Sanji with an uncaring expression. This is where he just said, "Who knows, maybe, maybe not. I don't care about that name. I discarded it a long time ago." This is where Sanji narrowed his eyes and then says, "Tell me, why are you back then, Issei? Don't you have, what's it called, I don't know, you haven't really been here for about like 3 months. You know, that's quite, how should I say, or not 3 months, 2 months. You know, that's quite, how should I say, bad for your attendance." Issei said, "Oh, is it really bad? I never noticed. I never cared. Truly, why the hell should I care?" This is where, well, mostly Sanji narrowed his eyes. At looking at Issei's eyes, they're cold, dead, and even if you dare try to mess with him, you would die in an instant. This is where, well, Sanji says, "Okay. You know, if I call your parents, well, what happened if they would answer?" Well, if you would have called them, they probably would have said they didn't really have a son. Because I am no longer a part of their family. So, you can call them. But who's going to get me in trouble? The cops? Oh, police. If you already know what I am, why the hell would they get me in trouble? And besides, any other doubles would not really care too much. Doesn't work well. Mostly, Sanji sighs and says, Issei, you've been gone for 2 months. I really haven't really paid attention until like last day. Or mostly yesterday, I paid attention that you haven't really been here. And now that you're here, what exactly happened? Issei says, don't know what really happened. All I know is I changed for the better, for everyone's sake. I am no longer the same Issei as you used to know, but I am Issei Uchiha. I am different. I am much more powerful. I really do not care about anyone's hope, dream, or reality of anything. My plans and dreams are mine alone to know, and not for anyone to be shared upon. So, if you don't mind me, I'll be going to class. This went well. Sanji sighs and says, wait, Issei, come back. This went well. Issei looks at Sanji before he opens the door. Sanji says, how should I say? Okay, I want to tell you something. What is that? You know the rating games between you and Sir Orcus? Yeah. Well, it kind of got pushed back thanks to the fact that you haven't been in the ORC for a couple of days. Since they thought they lost you, or you became a stray. This went well, Issei said. Until then, I am a stray. This is where Sanji says, if I tell them that the whole supernatural will go after you and you won't have a normal life. Issei said, then, this went well. This went well, Issei says, then try me. I don't care. I won't run. This went well. Sanji says, really? You won't run away? You will actually be hunted down and in prison for however many years. You won't be able to graduate. You will actually stay being a senior. Or you can go talk to them and say that you've been training or something. They might believe you. What if this is where Issei says, what if I didn't run? This is where well.
What if I didn't run? What if I'm not a coward? What if I want them to kill me? What if I want them to try?
This is where well, Issei said that, and this is where well. Mostly Sanji's confused and says, well, okay, so you want me to report this to the double council about you wanting to be killed? Issei said, you can try, but you won't be able to even say anything. Issei right now activated his Sharingan in an instant, and this is where, well, he activated one of them, and this is where Issei said, this is where, well, he puts, mostly Sanji in the Genjutsu to forget everything. He falls down asleep, but this is where, well, he got false memories implanted. Issei says, no one will need to know about who I am. You just gotta say that I am here, and I don't care. It's 1 more month, right? Or a couple more months. Then I guess I'll be training later. Or I should check on the organization and how everything is going. Which maybe that'd be a better idea. Issei right now says, Cowboy. His eyes change in an instant, right now making a vortex appear around him and sucking him in and disappearing in an instant. We go into somewhere secretive. Right now, like hands holding up some people up in the air. This is where, well, we're mostly dirt on top of the fingers of the statue. There was a person with orange hair, purplish Renegon eyes. Yes, these are the Renegon. This is where next to him is a person with mostly bluish hair. And of course, where she has mostly the same robe as, well, the other guy. Mostly a black cloak with red clouds. Then there's other people. Other people that are mysterious, right now hiding into the darkness. And this is where, well, Issei appears. Issei looks at everyone, seeing that all of them are here in a meeting. Issei had his orange mask. He had his red cloak. And his name in this organization was Toby. Now, of course, we go into mostly Toby acting like a child again. So, yeah. This is where, well, the organization pretty much they want to do is take out all of mostly the supernatural. They want to take them out, but of course getting the strongest relics that they can find and putting it all together to make the strongest beast come out of its what's it called chambers, and that is none other than Triseca. This is where Issei hears about this. Well, mostly heard about this from a connection that he managed to kind of make with the mostly nature itself. Thanks to the fact that he's no longer a normal demon human or whatever. This is where, what I mean about this is, he's no longer a demon. He's mostly about 75% dragon. But, other than that, he's also human. 25%. This is where, this 25% isn't just a normal 25%. Well, he's not 75. He's 50% dragon, 25% human, and a 25% unknown. This is where, he's looking at all the other members right now being told by their leader, somewhat leader, named Pain, in what they need to find and what they need to collect. This is where, all of them nodded and disappeared. While, Toby, known as the new, mostly the new member, also known as the leader, the true leader of this organization, kind of says, how is it, Pain? How is the organization going? This is where all of them looks, mostly Conan and Pain looks at, somewhat the now notified, the mysterious figure known as, there used to be Red Dragon Emperor, or the new kind of, Dragon Emperor of, this world, just kind of asked them. This is where, they said that everything's going as planned. We will be able to get the 9 relics, later or sooner, in about a couple of months, and we'll be able to release Triseca. Thanks to mostly all the information you have gotten, or mostly has black and white as it has gotten. Issei nodded and says, this is good. Our plans will be coming in nice and mostly proceeding as nice and, fast as it needs to be. Now we go into mostly another couple of months later on. Issei has finally got the 9 relics that he needed. This is where, Black and White Setsu has appeared. Of course, where he tells where mostly Triseca has been sealed away. Issei gets to the place, and mostly the Akatsu's are actually hunting down, mostly the organization called Chaos Brigade, because there's one more mostly material / item they need. This is where it's none other than a sacred gear user who has the mostly the Holy Grail. This is where, they managed to find the little girl. I forgot her name. I remember fan stories about saying about it, but I don't remember. But mostly, fanfic stories, but not the point. This is where, he found the girl who had this, mostly the sacred gear, told her to use her sacred gear, the Holy Grail, which just sacrificed her life, and of course, making the Holy Grail appear right in front of him. He uses the Holy Grail with all 9, relics to open the gate, but before doing that, he decides to implant all, 9 relics before they all explode away, and Holy Grail, by drinking the Holy Grail kind of liquid inside it, and of course, then putting the 9 relics into his, right eye, because his left eye is the only one that's kind of open, and it always has a Sharingan. This is where, when his right eye appears, it's kind of a Renegon, but different. It is the color of, the rings are a very dark black, but mostly, instead of being purple, it's a purplish silver color. And it has about 12 Tomoes in it. The 12 Tomoes are all color, mostly there's multiple, just different element colors. And in the middle is kind of a cross eye. This is where, cross eye. This is where, Issei looks at Triseca that managed to come out. Triseca was about to cause destruction until Issei managed to put him in a powerful illusion and then absorbed him in an instant into his body, which transformed his, already kind of palish white body, which he actually turned into a palish white body, but this is where armor appears all around him. He turned Triseca into a sacred gear entirely. But this is where, well, Issei didn't just turn off the sacred gun in an instant. Issei says, well, it's now time for me to end this war entirely. Let this, well, mostly end of this world start. This is where, well, all the members nodded, and this is where, well, an army arises behind Issei in an instant, being white Zetsus. But this is actually where I'm gonna leave it off for mostly this one shot. Yes, I'm actually gonna leave this off with a one shot. So whatever happened next, you can think of whatever happened next. But for right now, I'm gonna one shot this place, and other than that, bye. See ya.